Hello everyone, today I'm gonna talk about list in Python. In previous video I already talked about different parts you have to know as a beginner in Python. For list you need to initialize a list or an empty list using third bracket, and this is the variable name. Okay, you can think about list as an array. If you are familiar with C or C++, there are arrays available. List is similar with that. List means multiple items you can store in a single variable. Okay, here you can see L1 is a list name, and I assign different items or values, okay, here using comma, and those all are string value. So this is red, green, blue, and if we print the list, you can see the list contains different item in it. So after that, how can we access the value of list? So if you see L1 list name, then I write 2. 2 is the index number. For your kind information, in any programming language, for array, either for array or a list, array for C++ I'm talking about, the index number is starting from 0, means the first value. How can we access that? If we write 0 over here, you can access the first value or item in the list. Okay, so 0 1 2 3 4, there's 4 item in the list. How can we know how many items in a list? Just write len, which is built-in function in Python. So here there is 5 item, but in order to access each item, at most we need to write 4, because we start from 0 0 1 2 3 4, so we have 5 items. But what if we have thousands or millions of items and we need to access the last item? So there's another option. In order to access the last item, instead of writing the last number like 1 million or something like that, so we can just write -1 as an index, and if we write -1, it starting from the last item, right? If we run this, then we can find the last item. So if we write -2, then it's starting from the last, from last to second, right? So this is -2, right? So here this is not starting from 0. Starting from 0 is this. So 0 1 2 3 4, and then if we write -1, then that means this one, right? It's kind of like number system. Okay, so we can even change the item. How can we change the item? We need to write the index number and the variable L1. -2 is equal to brown. It was yellow, right? So if we run this, then it become brown, right? It become brown. Sorry, -2, yeah, it is brown, but at first it was yellow. Next, we can means list can contain different data types inside same variable: string type, integer type, boolean type. Okay, so this also can be done, but in C++ you can't do similar thing like that. What I'm talking about, in C++ you need to write int data type, means which type of array or list. I mean, say in C++ you need to say that array, not list. You need to write data type, then variable name, and then how many items at most can be the variable, array variable can have. So 100 means it can have at most 100 item, 10 means at most 10 item, but not for Python it's not like that. Then how to add value in an existing list? So we can have value like variable name dot append, and if we append a value, it all time append at the last. If we recall the variable we initialized, here is white, the last item. So now we see the last item is black. So append all time, add the value at last, like you. But what if we want to add a value in the second position, in the third position, we can say? So we can do it also using insert. Here we need to give the position index name, index number actually, index number and the value. If we run this, so we can see orange, apple, then inside orange and apple grape is included because 0 and 1, right? So 1 index it will become grape and apple become 2, means next index value or item is apple. Oh, list can contain duplicate value. List can contain duplicate value, same value it can contain. Another thing is list comprehension. What is this? List comprehension is basically you can create new list from existing list using keyword or condition that you give. Here I created a list from L2 list. L2 list. What is L2 list? This is the L2 list, right? This is the L2 list, and here I created new list from this. Those value are string. If we run this, then we can see those all are string. Those are not string, that's not included in new list. So again, list comprehension is like we can create new list from an existing list using conditions that we give. So here I like write str, instead what if I write int 30 and 40, only 2 integer available. Now we can join two list. Joining two list means list 1 ends, then list 2 starts. List 1, this is list 1 black, so after black list 2 start from orange, grape, apple, 30, 40. So let's check. Okay, we can comment this. So red, green, black, this one black, that's what I'm saying. After black list 2 start, because list 1 actually ends. Okay, so then we can remove specific item from list, like the 6th index item we can remove it, right? So what is the 6th index item? It will be automatically removed. So black, grape, apple. So before grape there was orange. Orange is deleted. Okay, we can remove either using pop function or using del. It also basically remove item from list. If we run this, then the last item, which was true, already deleted. We can extend an existing list. Instead of creating new list from 2 by joining to other list, we can extend a list, right? So this list L2, it actually now contain list 1 also. So another thing, we can reverse a list, reverse like if we can see our list 1 or L1, so it is red, green, blue, yellow, white. Now if we use reverse keyword, then our list will be reversed, right? Now how can we iterate? Iterate means every time we can have each item of a list and do our task. So we can use for loop like I in L1. L1 list, each time a for loop is run, then every value, each value will be in I variable, inside I variable. Then so the first time it was black, I value is black. Then the second time the loop is running, it is white, then brown, then blue, etc. So after that okay, so we can now go to sort, like we can sort the list using a built-in function which is L1.sort. So here I didn't give any keyword, so it actually just sorted using default. So B, alphabetically B comes earlier, so B is the first, then blue, then brown, means BL, then BLU. First one is BLA, then BLU, BR, then green, red, white. Now we can sort using keyword, right? Upper value, which is, I think this is almost same. Another thing I should tell, yeah, that one actually I'm talking about. In order to sort a list, we should consider similar data type which is required. Means L1.sort work perfectly because those all items are similar. But here you can see that L3 sort doesn't work, and the type error is upper, that keyword I'm using, which must be string str, but it got an int item. Let me check. Yes, L3, it does have int and also boolean, which is not possible. Okay, so it should be similar data type in order to sort. So next thing is copy. Means how can we copy a list into another list, where we need to copy or when we need to copy a list. Something like we have a list that need to be modified, and also we need to have the previous version of it, then we need to use copy. So we have to use list variable, means L3 dot copy, which actually created the copy. Okay, so by the way, in order to run in Colab, I didn't talk about, like in previous video I already talked about how to run file in Colab. You need to press shift and enter. Press shift, actually hold shift and enter. Hold the shift button and press enter, then it will automatically run each cell. Okay, so in order to copy, we need to use the list variable name dot copy, which actually copy. into a new variable instead of referencing the same value. What I am talking about here, I used copy. That means L3 actually copied into L3 copy variable. Instead, if I here I printed L3, you can see that test variable is not there at the last, because I included the test value into L3 copy variable, not L3 list variable. L3 copy does contain the test item, but L3 list doesn't have the test item. If we run L3 copy, you can see that test item already included. Okay, so you need to use copy instead of L3 copy, just L3. If we use this, what will happen here? L3, and then we just copy this. So L3.copy append test, but instead of printing L3 copy, I'm printing here L3, which shouldn't contain the test item, but it must contain it. See, it does contain test item, because it actually doesn't copy. It actually this L3 copy list variable actually reference the L3 list variable in the memory. Means they are referencing the same memory location. So we can use for reversing the list. In order to reverse the list, we can use dot reverse or reverse function. Okay, so which actually reverse, right? It already reversed. So now counter means let we have a list Z which have a duplicate item. Now we need to count how many times red variable actually occurred in the list Z. Okay, so if we print this, then we can see that 2 times red items actually occurred in the list, this one and this one. Next, if we need so here we used count function z.count. So count function can find only one value or one item occurrence. But what if we need to find, or we need to find the all items occurrence? Then we need to use counter. Before that, we need to import z, counter z. So if we write counter z, then we will find that all items occurrence, like blue is 3 times, red 2 times, yellow 1 times, 1 2 3. Okay, so now we can talk about how iterating 2 or means more than one list at a time. By the way, the second variable, it is tuple, not list. Difference between list and tuple is first bracket for list, third bracket for first bracket for tuple, third bracket for list. So we can see that the 3 variable f, b and c have different items. Means f and b have similar 3 items, but c does have 4 items. So in order to iterate those 3 variable or 3 list and 2 list and 1 tuple at a time, we need to use z function, and as there is three variable, three items, list item and tuple items, we need to use three other variable so that the values can map to those variables. For f it is for I, for j, b and k map to c. You can notice if I run this, so only three items printed at a time, and the loop iterate over 3 times because this list value does contain 4 but other two doesn't, so it will stop at the lowest, means smallest item. This does have 3 items, so it will stop up to 3. So another thing, another term, concatenate list items into single string. So how do we concatenate list string items basically? So we can concatenate using join function. So if we use join, it actually concatenate according to the term we given in quotation. Like I gave space here, so it actually printed a space in each string, after each string, so except the last string. If I write question mark, it will shift enter, see this will print question mark, right? Okay, so next one is shuffling a list. How can we shuffle, or how do we shuffle a list? Why we need shuffling list? When we pick up a random value from a list, we can use shuffle if we want. Okay, so here z value was before blue, red, blue, yellow, so now it actually rearrange the item. Next one is write list into a file. So how can we write list into a file? So we need to use open function along with keyword. Open your file name, text file, as a write, as we need to write, not read, as f. There for item in z, means z is a list and each value will be written in item, each value will be assigned in item, then we write the item into the file which open as f variable. The file, your file.txt is opened inside Python as f variable. So f dot write, we are writing the items of a list, shift enter, then we can go over there. It's already so written, right? So after that close this. So this is kind of different for beginner list tutorial. It's kind of bit moderate problem. We need to, now we are sorting. Previously we sort just using sort keyword. Now we want to sort using or based on another list, right? How can that be possible? So in order to sort, so we need to sort the list 1 based on list 2. So this think about that each color occurrence is this integer value, like black doesn't occur, so it is 0. Orange does occur 4 times, so it is 4. So lemon occur 2 times, it is 2. Okay, so here we used sorted function built-in function in Blender, and zip also. We already saw about zip, and we used L2 first and then L1. Then L1 means we are actually sorting L1 based on L2, and use the reverse true, because if we don't use the reverse, then it will sorting in ascending order, but I want to sort it using descending order. What I'm talking about is like I need to see the most occurred color as first, like orange appeared 4 times, red appeared 2 times, lemon also appeared 2 times, then all are 1 times. At last is black because it doesn't appear. Okay, so here you can see as zip zip function using to list, so it will return each time or each iteration for two items, but we using this dash or underline because we don't want L2, we just want L1, which is X, and we just use this in a list. Okay, so that's how we actually sort a list using another list. Okay, if we run this, the output will be same, right? So next one, okay, this one I want to share, like as this is all based on sets, but we can also do this using sorted or something like we call list comprehension, but this is the first test that I found. So how can we find the common element of two list? Okay, so there is list 1, which is 1 2 3 4. List 2 item does have 4 5 6 7 8, and if we using set, means we are converting list as a set, and using the AND. Okay, the set does have union intersection. This is intersection, means it find out or it returns the common item, which only 4 value or item 4 is common. Okay, so it will return the 4, and I also convert the item in list. So this will be the end of today's lecture, and we'll talk about sets or other Python topic in next lecture. Thank you.